your blood. By your blood, I'm covered by your blood. Your precious blood, your holy blood.
True Christian in doctrine and custom is pre-Eurocentric. So how do we unite the church? Since the Catholic holds to one belief, since the Catholic branch holds to one belief system and custom, the Eastern Orthodox holds to another, and there are many branches in Eastern. Then we have the Protestant, many, many branches. Then you have the Evangelicals, Seventh-day Adventists. My friends, if you take a journey, I dare you, take a journey. Just walk into any denomination in Christendom. Just walk into any denomination in Christianity. Walk to any church assembly or Christian church or any assembly in the church. Just go into any denomination and you ask, what does it mean to be Christian? Do it. And you're going to hear many different, even conflicting definitions or explanations or declarations of Christian. I said, if you were to take a journey, if you will, a Christian journey, and you go to these branches and go to many of these denominations, go to the four square and ask them, what does it mean to be Christian? Go to the Seventh-day Adventists, ask them what it means to be Christian. I dare you, go and ask the Moravians and the Anglicans and and go to Eastern Orthodox, go to Latvian Orthodox, go to Greek Orthodox, Russian Orthodox, go to the Catholics and ask. Go to Charismatic Pentecostals, go to Pentecost Holiness, Church of God of Prophecy, Church of God Holiness. You go to these denominations in Christendom, in the Christian faith, and you ask them, what does it mean to be Christian? Who is a Christian? What is Christian? And you're going to hear not only different views, different declarations, different doctrines, you're going to hear conflicting or even irreconcilable differences. Yet we all proclaim to be Christian. What does it mean to be Christian? I say to you, forget what the Catholics say. Forget what the Moravians say. What does it mean to be Christians? Forget what the Church of God in Christ say. What does it mean to be Christian? Forget what the Lutherans say. Forget what the Calvinists say. What does it mean to be Christian? Forget what any denomination or any pastor say. Forget T.G. Jakes. Forget the Pope. That's right, forget them all. What does it mean to be Christian? I'll tell you what you need to do. Return to pre-Eurocentric, pre-Gentile, pre-pagan, pre-Western view of the faith. If you want to know what it means to be Christian, I say to you, forget what any pastor or any preacher or any leader or any branch or any declaration of faith in any of the branches in Christendom today. Forget what they have to say and dig through the mess and the clog and the muck and go back to the pre-Eurocentric, pre-Gentile, pre-pagan Christian faith in the cradle of the Christian faith right there in Jerusalem, where Jesus taught his disciples, where he called them to himself, and when he gave them his teaching and said that as the Father sent me, I'm sending you. So what did Jesus say to them? What did he give them? He gave them the guidelines and all of the forms. He gave them the Christian faith. He gave them He gave them his teaching. The height, the depth, and all the contours. He gave to his followers his teachings and said, you must take this to the nations. Go into all the world, he said, and make disciples of nations. Who did he send? He didn't send the Pope. He didn't send your pastor. He did not send Aston Morgan. He sent Peter and the other apostles. He sent them. And then he's not sending no new ones, at least not sending anyone to establish anything new. If you were in ancient Israel and you wanted to hear what God had to say, you have to go to Moses. Anyone who came and said anything that was conflicting or was contrary to the teaching, the commands of Moses, that person was a heretic. That person was blaspheming. That person was errant. In the same way today, anyone who brings any teaching to you other than what we hear from the first and primary source of Jesus' life, death, resurrection, and ministry, other than what Peter, James, John, Paul, Paul, no, not Paul, Peter, James, John, and the other 12. No, Paul was sensible, and so should you and I, because he was convinced in his soul that what he was preaching was from Christ, because he met Jesus on the road to Damascus in Acts chapter 9 on his way to persecute the church. But Paul said in Galatians, so to ensure that I didn't run in vain, I went up to Jerusalem to visit the leaders, just to ensure that what I was preaching was from Christ. And having visited Peter and James, John, they confirmed, yes, that is the gospel we preach. Yep, that is the Jesus we preach. And Paul said, the only thing they warned me of, or reminded me of, was to help the poor. And Paul's words were the very thing I was already eager to do. So Paul went back to Peter, James, and John, the ones who Jesus sent first. So if Paul visited with Peter to confirm his doctrine, I say that the Pope must return to Peter. I say that your pastor need to return to Peter. I say that Creflo Dollar need to return to Peter. I say that Benny Hinn need to return to Peter. I say that Bishop T.D. Jakes need to return to Peter, and Noel Jones need to return to Peter. I say that all the leaders in the church need to return to Peter, and to match up what you have against the doctrine that Peter preached. Because I tell you this, somebody is wrong, but it's not Moses, because God sent Moses. Somebody is wrong, but it's not Peter, James, and John. It's not the first apostles. So you ask yourself the question, is your doctrine apostolic?